In this video, we're going to take a quick review of multi-digit division. We're going to look at how partial quotients and standard algorithm relate to one another. So first, we have this problem, and on the left side, we're going to look at partial quotient. On the right side, we're going to look at standard algorithm. So if we set this problem up, we've got 3 and then 657 here. And we bring our line down. So we want to ask ourselves, how many groups of 3 go into 657? Well, about 200 of them do, and that would give me 600. So I subtract that, and that gives me 57 left. How many groups of 3 go into 57? 10. So I subtract 30, and that gives me 27 left. How many groups of 3 go into 27? 9 of them do, so I subtract my 27, and I get 0. So then I add this group of numbers up, and I come up with 219. So now we go to the other side here, and we're going to set it up the same way. But this time we're going to look at it a little bit differently. We're going to look at the numbers individually going left to right. So I want to ask myself, how many groups of 3 can I get out of 6? Well, I can take 2 of them. So I put my 2 above the 6, and that 2 represents the same thing as this 200. So 2 times 3 is 6, so I subtract my 6. That gives me 0. I bring my 5 down. So now I want to ask myself, how many groups of 3 can I get out of 5? Well, I can get 1 of them, so I put my 1 above my 5, and that 1 represents this 10 right here. So 1 times 3 is 3, so I subtract 3, and that leaves me with 2 left over. So I bring down my 7. How many groups of 3 can go into 27? 9, so I put my 9 above the 7, and that 9 represents this 9 right here. And so I subtract 27, and that leaves me with 0 left over. So again, my answer is 219. Another problem, I'm going to set it up the same way. So I have my 4 out here, and 5,380 here. Bring my line down. So again, I'll do 1,000. That gives me 4,000. I subtract, so 1,380, and then I can do maybe 300. Gives me 1,200. I subtract, gives me 180. We can do 40. So I subtract 160. That gives me 20. And I know that 5 gives me 20. And that leaves me with 0 left over. So again, I want to add these up. And that gives me a total of 1,345. Now on the other side again, setting it up the same way. 4 out here, 5,380 here, going left to right individually by the numbers. How many groups of 4 into 5? 1, so I put my 1 above the 5, subtract my 4. And again, that 1 is representing that 1,000 right here. Gives me 1 left over. Bring down my 3. 4 into 13. Well, I can do 3 of them, and that represents my 300 right here, and that is 12, so I subtract, gives me 1 left over. Bring down my 8. 4 into 18. Well, I can do 4 of them, which is 16. So again, that 4 is representing that 40 right here. Leaves me 2 left. Bring my 0 down. And 5, which is this 5 right here. Again, subtract 20. Leaves me with 0 left. So again, my answer is 1,345. Let's take a look at this problem. So again, set it up same way. We've got our 6 out here, 7,745. So bring my line down, and then we can go in there about 1,000 times. So that gives me 6,000. I subtract, so I have 1,745 left, and 6 can go into there about 200 times, and that would give me 1,200. Subtract, it gives me 545 left. It goes in there probably about 90 times, which would give me 540, and I have 5 left over. This number down here is less than this number here, so that's as far as I can go at this point. So now I add these up, and that gives me 1,290, and then I have this 5 left over down here, so remainder 5. Now on this side, set it up again the same way. 7,745. And again, we're going to work through it just like we have with the rest of them. 6 goes into 7 one time. Subtract my 6. And again, that represents this 1,000 right here. Gives me 1 left over. Bring down my 7. Goes in there 2 times. And again, that's representing that 200. So I subtract 12. And that gives me 5 left over. Bring down my 4. 6 goes into 54 9 times. That's representing this 9 right here, which is 54. And that gives me 0 here. Even though I have a 0 here, I still have my 5 left up here, so I need to bring this 5 down. And 6 into 5 doesn't go at all, so I need to put a 0 here above the 5. I subtract 0, and again leaves me with 5 left. So as long as this number again is less than this number here, then that's as far as I can go because I don't have anything else left over here. And so my answer is, again, 1,290, remainder 5. So this one's a little bit different because it's a 2-digit number versus a 1-digit number. But again, we're going to do it the exact same way. So I have my 15 out here, my 1,875 here. Bring my line down. So it will go in there roughly about 100 times. So that gives me 1,500. I subtract, gives me 375 left. And then that would go in there about 20 times, which would be 300. Subtract, gives me 75 left. And then that would go in there roughly about 4 times 60. Give me 15 left, so I can go in there one more time. Subtract 15. And I would have 0 left over. So again, I add up these numbers, and that gives me a total of 125. So again, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Set it up exactly the same way. And as I go left to right, 15, how many groups of 15 into 1? I can't do that because I don't have enough. So I have to go to my next number. So I have to look at it as an 18. So 15 into 18 goes 1 time. So I subtract my 15, and that gives me 3. And that 1 is representing that 100 right there. Bring down my 7. Well, 15 into 37 goes 2 times because that's 30. And again, that 2 is representing that 20 right there. So it leaves me 7 left over. Bring down my 5. 15 into 75 is 5 times. And again, that 5 represents this 4 and 1 together. So I subtract 75 leaves me with 0. So again, have 125 for my answer.